Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. I am so excited that you're joining me today because I am doing a fall tablescape. First, we're going to start off with some DIYs to add to our table, and then you'll get to see everything put together. I am doing this in collaboration with one of my really good YouTube friends, so stay tuned to hear more about that. Also, if you like what you see, I would hope that you would consider subscribing. Let's get started. At Hobby Lobby in their fall section, I found this cute little Lazy Susan that is meant for your dinner table for like silverware and things. And I thought it was super cute, but I really kind of wanted to make it over to have my table have a very cohesive look. So we're just going to sand off the little design. I mean, that is a cute design that's on there. You definitely could leave that on there, no problem. But I just kind of want to give you some inspiration. So if you're thinking of trying to come up with something to do for your table or something, you could even get like 4 of the little cube boxes from Dollar Tree and glue those together. It wouldn't have the Lazy Susan part on the bottom of it, but you could easily use that for your table. This is just kind of here to give you inspiration for something you can do and to not be afraid of if you see something and you're like, dang, I wish this just had this little thing, or if it's something you can change, don't think like I can't do that, I don't need to buy it, or I can't buy it. That you can make things work in your own way. So I'm just, once I sand all that design down, I'm just covering it in the plaster Waverly chalk paint that matches my design and my color scheme. And I found these cute little wooden cutout words at Hobby Lobby. They were also in the fall section. I think they were around like $4 before the 40% off they had on their fall. So I'm just picking out 2 of the words, one for each side. And then what I'm going to do is give each of these a stain with my antiquing wax. That's just the Waverly wax. And I am just going to cover it completely here. And then we're going to affix this to the side of one to each side of the Lazy Susan. Before I glue on these words, I'm just going to take that same antiquing wax and just a little chip brush, and I am going to go around each of the edges to give this more of that rustic distressed look. If you're new to my channel, I like to distress things. I distress things a lot. It might be a little bit of a problem. I like to distress things so much. If you've been around before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this would be completely optional. Do it to your taste, what you like. I mean, you may look at this and think, I wouldn't do it those colors. I would do it a completely different color, and that's fine. This is just to give you some inspiration or give you an idea of what it looks like. Obviously, I am going for a very rustic tablescape here, so I really kind of want this to look like it is aged a little bit. So I just go around each of the edges, making sure to get both sides of each of the edges. And then I'm just going to use just some good old Gorilla super glue to glue these letters on. I feel like the tip of that glue, you're able to use it really well to kind of get on the back side of the letters where you need to and glue that on. So I just play around with the placement, and I decide to kind of put it closer to the bottom and off to the right. And so then this is where I take that Gorilla Glue you can see here, and I'll just glue these letters onto either side of the Lazy Susan. You can see how easily the tip of that glue container works with the back of that cursive lettering. You do have literally like 3 seconds, maybe if even, to once you glue this down to kind of like smudge it in any direction if you need to. So make sure you have your placement right and you just push firmly down and it's completely dried. This is such a fun little DIY. I'm just taking one of these jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat buckets. You can find these a lot of times at thrift stores this time of year in the fall time. You can start to see them in the grocery stores. Sometimes you'll see like really obnoxious like pink and green ones. So what I'm going to do we're going to paint this completely over. So I'm taking a little bit of spackling and putting it over the jack-o'-lantern's face. And as I'm putting it over the eyes, nose, and mouth, I realized I probably should do the whole side of the pumpkin. That way it will kind of mask the facial features a little bit better, because I want this to look like a plain pumpkin. If I had this to do over, I would probably spackle the entire pumpkin to give it a cohesive look. Since this is going to be a centerpiece and the other side of the table will see the back side of this, or this side of it, I should say, it just kind of looks like it's a normal textured pumpkin, if that makes sense. However, the front is very smooth. So if I did it over again, I would cover the whole thing completely in spackle. But I'm just going to go through and make sure those lines are still there. You can see I'm just tracing those lines in. And then I do just smooth it out with my finger just to make sure that there's no rough edges or anything like that from the spackling. And I do, once it's completely dry, I take just some sandpaper. I use an emery board for a lot of things. If you're new here, that's kind of just what I happen to have at my craft table, so I use it a lot. But I just go through and sand, make it a little bit more smooth. And then if there's any harsh edges, I just sand those off to make those a little bit more even. That way it kind of flows into the other texture. So if you did your whole pumpkin in the spackling, you probably would still want to sand it just to smooth it out, but you probably wouldn't need to spend a whole lot of time, because the outside of, a natural pumpkin's texture has a lot of those bumps and everything on there. So I take this out to my little spray painting studio, which is just a box in my garage, but I use Krylon, just satin finish white, and I'm just going to spray this all over. You could do whatever color you wanted your pumpkin to be. You do need to do a couple of coats of this to make sure to cover the orange. I do even go and spray a little bit inside just to kind of mask a little bit of the orange on the inside, so that way it helps to kind of dull down that orange color showing through on the exterior, but you don't need to pay a lot of attention to the inside. But I do just go all the way around, and since this is plastic, you do want to let this cure and dry completely between each coat that you do. So do a light coat in the beginning to cover it all, let that dry for a few hours, come back out, do another couple of coats. I think I went over this 3 times once it was all said and done, to make sure that it was completely all the way covered in spray paint. So you can see how smooth this side of it looks, and as you turn it around, you still can kind of see the face in there. I probably could have put a little bit more spackle to mask that, but I mean, it doesn't look horrible, the texture on there, but the whole pumpkin I think would have looked a little bit better all covered in it. I have this base that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It was 75% off, so I think I paid like $5 for it. And you can see this just sits perfect right in there, and I'm just gonna put some flowers in here for a centerpiece. My friend Devin over at the Freckled Mom and I decided to do these rustic fall tablescapes for you today. So she also has a video today with some DIYs and a tablescape. So down in my description box, you're going to get a link to her video, and there's also a link to her channel. So while you're there, if you want to subscribe to her, you will not be disappointed. These are just a few of the things that she has done. She is so talented. You'll love her personality. She is so fun. She recently also started a home channel. She is slowly remaking different rooms in her house, which are incredible. She is so talented. So again, her video will be linked down in my description box, so check that out so you can definitely see her different interpretation of a rustic fall tablescape. For this project, I want to make kind of like a little cake stand type thing. It's not going to be food safe, so you want to do like packaged food only, or make sure that you put like a napkin down, so just to get that out of the way. But I'm going to take these half beads that I have, and I'm just putting them in a Ziploc bag with some antiquing wax, and I'm just going to kind of zhuzh them around here and kind of smush them all, make sure that antiquing wax covers all of them. I had somebody comment and leave me a tip sometime to do wooden beads this way, so I thought I would try it with half beads. It worked pretty well. So I just dumped them out onto a baby wipe. Now when you dump them out, they do kind of have that goopy look, which a lot of people are like, ew, I don't love this process because of this. So here's how you fix that. You just take another baby wipe and you just kind of rub it on the top of them, and it just kind of takes the excess off there. So it works well, almost better with the beads, because you can kind of roll them around. These I just kind of had to pat. So I'm taking this wood round that I got at Dollar Tree. I believe they're like $9.99. I did buy them when the wood was 50% off, so it was about $5. And I'm just going to stain this completely with the antiquing wax. This is just kind of a really good color for that rustic look that I'm going for. I also picked up this candlestick from Hobby Lobby in the wood section. It was also $9.99 and then the 50% off. So I'm just going to go over this completely with that same antiquing wax to give it the same color. And then if you hadn't guessed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up gluing the candlestick as the base of my little stand onto this wood round that I have. But first what I'll do is I will take my little half beads and I'll glue them around the edge of my round, my wood round. I promise you I won't make you watch the entire process of me gluing each of these on. It honestly doesn't take that long. What I do is I use a little bit of wood glue and a little bit of hot glue so it has that immediate hold. And I end up setting out several beads at a time to put the wood glue on. And that way I just pick up one at a time and put a little dab of hot glue on to fix that on there. So, and I just continue this process all the way around. I do have a little bit of space between each of these beads. That just makes my beads go a little bit further because I didn't have enough to do them completely if they were touching, if that makes sense. After all those beads are glued on, I do go back in with some more antiquing wax on a chip brush and I go over the beads just to give them one more little bit coat. This way I don't have to do a whole huge, make sure I get full coverage because I've already done them in the beginning with the bag. And so I just go in between each of them and on the top just to make sure that they're completely covered and they all kind of match. To glue the base on, I do just use wood glue and hot glue. For whatever reason, I chose not to hit record when I was doing this step. So I'm just letting you know that that's how I got that base to stick. I did put the glue on the base first and then turn that upside down onto the wood round, which was resting on the table. I have found that to be the easiest method. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of white or plaster chalk paint and just give this a little bit of a dry brushing all over to continue on with that really rustic, distressed vibe. And then I even do the back side just in case you can see underneath it as well. And that's all there is to this one. Don't forget that I'm on Instagram also. I love to meet new Insta friends, so I would love for you to come over and say hi, check out my page, and see all the latest projects that I'm working on. I'll be sure and leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. Okay, I'm so excited about this one. So I take this sign from Hobby Lobby that has these cute little scalloped decorative edges. I don't know if you'd call that scalloped, but whatever decorative edges. You can see it does have those little sign hanging tags. So I do just remove those with a little screwdriver so they're completely gone. And then I measure down 6 inches on each side of the edge. And then I take my speed square to get a nice good straight line there. And I'm just going to cut off each of the ends of this sign that are 6 inches each. And then I will also cut another 2-inch piece. So I'll show you what that looks like. So here is the 6-inch pieces I have and then the 2-inch piece and then just an extra piece of scrap wood there. So I'm making a napkin holder. So I want to make sure that all of the edges are completely smooth. So I just take my little emery board there and I just completely sand all of the edges down to make sure they're smooth. Now I'm going to take some of the wood glue and I'm just going to put wood glue along each of the sides here of the base of our napkin holder. And then I'm going to use some clamps to clamp in the sides together. So I just kind of place those up how I want them. And you can kind of watch what I do with these clamps here. I do take a little craft stick and cut it to size to kind of help that top part from not collapsing in on itself so it can keep that shape. And then I give this several hours to just dry. You could even leave it overnight, a couple hours to do it just fine. And you can see how sturdy that is. I just am so excited. I think turning from like a sign blank from Hobby Lobby into this little napkin holder. I'm so excited about this one. So I'm just going to completely paint it all in the white chalk paint. It's not really white. I think this is actually plaster. Just whatever to match your decor. I'm doing this to match all of the items that I'm making for my tablescape today. And I just go ahead and paint all of the sides inside and out and all the way around. I do pick out 2 more words from my little stack of words that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I do the same thing with those. I just glue the words onto the bottom, one on each side. I think I do grateful and blessed on this one, whereas the silverware holder I did thankful and blessed. So you can do whatever you'd like to. You could even add a design. You could leave it plain. I think some rub-on transfers would be really, really cute on this. Even some other type of wood decorative elements that you could glue onto it. You can just customize this and make it your own, but I'm just here to give you ideas that you can take a sign from Hobby Lobby and make a napkin holder out of it. And so then I just go ahead and do my little distressing here with my chip brush and my antiquing wax, just so this matches everything else that I'm doing today. I do make sure to get all of the inside edges and everything of this, and just make sure that all of the edges have that cohesive look. Guys, I am so excited about this one. Let's take a look at how everything looks. I love how all of these turned out. I think they're all so cute. They are definitely going to add such a fun fall rustic flair to my tablescape. But let's go ahead and set these up on my table and see what that looks like. Well, what do you guys think? Would you guys sit down and eat a meal here? I am so happy with how this turned out. With this centerpiece, I did just stick in some Dollar Tree pics to give it that centerpiece flair. Most of my dishes did come from Hobby Lobby. I will leave a link down in this description box for whatever I can find a link for, but I will also just let you know where everything came from. My carnival glass, which is my glassware, and my pitcher came from my mom, but I have seen these in antique stores more recently. Like, they're popping up a little bit more. So keep your eyes peeled if you like the look of those. They are perfect for a fall tablescape. I hope that you guys enjoyed my DIYs today. I love this stand right here. I'm so excited to use that. I think my most favorite was turning that sign into this little napkin holder, but I think they all turned out so great. That floral centerpiece there, I think for, only costing, $7 or $8, including the flowers, turned out awesome. And then my little silverware holder there, I think is so cute and so perfect. And I just love the look on a table of adding a little bit of like floral or texture to your plates. So that's why I put the little wreath there with that cute little pumpkin on top. Those pumpkins are food safe from Hobby Lobby, so you can even put like some little treats in there. You could eat a little bit of soup in there, even like some pudding or something. Just so cute, but you definitely can put food in them. I just thought they were adorable. And the little wood plates I also got at Hobby Lobby. Again, I'll just link everything down in the description box. Just go over and click in my description box the link to Devon's channel, The Freckled Mom, and look at her tablescape. She is amazing. She has done such a spectacular job. I am so grateful that she was wanting to do this collaboration and do a tablescape with me, because I've been wanting to do something like this. I hope you guys enjoyed everything today. I hope that you guys remember to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day, because you are amazing. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing day.